Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. Today is May the 6th. I want to get started with our Just for Today this morning, our meditation. I'm glad that you've joined me. I hope that you have a beautiful day. It is almost 4:30 in the morning, and I am excited to um, be able to even do the just for today. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the serenity prayer. Moment of silence now. Who we are not. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Mm, Please and thank you. Okay, I am brought to you by Hope Through Navigation. This is our Hood Recovery Services. Hood is an acronym, HOOD, and it stands for Hope Offered on Demand. Let's take a look at this just for today. May 6th. Are we having fun yet? In time, we can relax and enjoy the hot atmosphere of recovery. In time, we can relax and enjoy the atmosphere of recovery. That's a quote from the basic text, page 56. Imagine what would happen if a newcomer walked into one of our meetings and was met by a group of grim faced people gripping the arms of their chairs with white knuckles. That newcomer would probably bolt, perhaps muttering, I thought I could get off drugs and be happy. Thankfully, our newcomers are usually met by a group of friendly, smiling folks who are obviously fairly content with the lives they found in Narcotics Anonymous. What an enormous amount of hope this provides. A newcomer whose life has been deadly serious is strongly attracted by an atmosphere of laughter and relaxation. Coming from a place where everything is taken seriously, where disaster always waits around the next corner, it is a welcome relief to enter a room and find people who generally don't take themselves too seriously, who are ready for something wonderful. Yeah, I've developed a bad cough through the night, so excuse me. Let's continue. We learn to lighten up in recovery. We laugh at the absurdity of our addiction, our meetings, those rooms filled with the lively, happy sounds of percolating coffee, clattering chairs, and laughing addicts are the gathering places where we first welcome our newcomers and let them know that, yes, we're having fun now. Just for today, I can laugh at myself. I can take a joke. I will lighten up and have some fun today. That's a beautiful reading. Uh, and it's talking about learning how to relax and enjoy the atmosphere of recovery and the difference in between when the group or the people that are attending the meeting are joyful and the newcomer walks in and sees their recovery as an attraction compared to when, and it does happen sometimes, but generally speaking, we are happy, right? But compared to if they had walked into the rooms and everyone was there angry and struggling with the disease of addiction and staying clean, that's not much of an attraction. I think for a newcomer, though, this is just Mighty Stream's point of view. I think for a newcomer coming into a meeting, they may um, they may be conscientious of the spirit of recovery being in the room or not. But generally, if they're in that first day or just even the first few days of getting clean, they are looking for a reason to continue using. Now, if they've been mandated, they know their freedom is on the line. Or if they've been threatened with the ending of a relationship, they know sometimes their family or their relationship is on the line. So even if they're not impressed, when they first come, they'll stay. And that's my point, that we still want to be ourselves. Say maybe a newcomer comes in and we've just lost a long-standing member. Maybe they lost to the disease of addiction. Maybe they relapsed and overdosed. Or maybe they just passed away from old age or failing health. The meeting atmosphere when they come is generally going to be surrounded around everyone's relationship, spirit of sadness or grieving. For those newcomers coming in on days like that, which do happen, um, I still think that they will come back, because once they begin to hear people share about the impact of losing one of our members, they will connect their hearts to the loss, in the sense that what comes from the heart touches the heart. So I don't think we need to worry so much right there, but I do think that over time, regardless to what the atmosphere is, we eventually get to the point where we can enjoy the meeting. We can enjoy the atmosphere of recovery. We can enjoy the laughter. We find people that can connect to. And when we connect to those people, we find out that now, instead of texting the drug dealer, that we're actually texting or communicating, calling, chatting with people that have the same mind of trying to stay clean just for the day. And I think that can be a very eye-opening and spiritual experience for an individual, to go from being stuck in the rat race to having people who are genuinely concerned about how we're doing in our recovery and sending us beautiful texts, and we get to respond. And sometimes I think a newcomer has to pinch themselves and say, is this real? Am I just dreaming, or are these people really this kind and thoughtful? And I think the grid for that is that we have commonality, right? A similarity, which is the disease of addiction, um, and our recovery, right? Our recovery is speaking loud and clear that if I can do it, you can do it. No big eyes or little U's. If I can do it, you can do it. So I want for you today, I want to challenge you, those who are listening, to enjoy your moment, enjoy your now, enjoy your present, right? And lighten up the atmosphere wherever you go. Bring the energy to the room wherever you go. Be the person who reaches out to the newcomer. Be the person who makes your phone number available to the newcomer. Um, yeah, I think that would be a beautiful goal for you today. So I just want to thank you for listening. I've had a beautiful time with you, and I hope that you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Make it a beautiful day. When things come your way that weren't in the plan, which I'm sure quite a bit will come in any given day, just step away from that. Step away from that. Step away from that situation in your mind, right? Right. You may not be able to physically pull your presence away from a situation. Say maybe you go into the bank and there's a encounter in the line in the bank that is not, in agreement with your positivity and your happiness, and you're looking at that situation. Look at that, and before you open your mouth or before you respond, Just ask yourself one simple question. What can I offer to turn the situation around into a positive situation? And if the answer is nothing, then I want for you to refrain from commenting, refrain from reacting. But if there's something that you can interject that makes that situation more light and more easy, I'll give you an example. I got time. If you can offer something that will change the direction of that atmosphere, I want you to. Let me share something with you. Couple, this is Thursday. So this week, I was over by just let's say a coffee shop, and it's pretty tight parking. I there's probably I don't know. There's probably 50 people and there's 20 parking spots, right? At this particular coffee shop. And I pull in and there's 2 spots open. Now, because I know this is a busy place, I'm going to park within my 2 yellow lines. In fact, this parking lot, every parking spot appears like it has 2 double lines on each side, but it has my 2 lines and then the line for the next person on either side of me, right? So there's plenty of space. These are large parking spots. There's plenty of space. I pull in and I'm just centered. I'm centered very well. I get out, I go in to get my coffee, well, my bagel and my coffee. And when I come out, I can see that someone has pulled into that empty parking spot. And I'm telling you the truth. The tail end of their vehicle was probably less than a foot away from mine. The door of their vehicle was a little bit more, but not very. There's no way they could open their door and not hit my car. And fortunately, the way the parking spaces are slotted, when they open their door, they will be, hitting my fender, basically. They're staggered, right? And so, and I have a pretty sturdy fender. I drive a Jeep. It's pretty large. So I'm upset. I'm upset. One, I can barely even get on in that side of the vehicle, that side. I can barely get in that space to walk the length of my vehicle and to see if they've scratched it. And I see a scratch, but it looks like a scratch that is not fresh, right? It just looks like it's not fresh. So I'm thinking they didn't do it. I don't see any white. Their vehicle is white, but I'm very upset. So I get in my car and I think, what should you do? What should you do? What should you do? Because when they come to get in their vehicle, they're going to have the same issue. The door is going to hit my car. What should I do? And here comes this young kid. And I don't know how young he was, but a younger person than myself. And he looks at me and we make eye contact. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, because you know that you were too close. So I roll my window down and he said, I'm sorry, ma'am, for parking so close to your car. And I said, yeah, I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how you can imagine you had enough space. When you open your door, you had to hit my vehicle. You had to. And he looked at me and he said, well, first he didn't look at me. He looked down the length of the vehicle like he was trying to measure. And then he looked at me and he said, yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I could see in that instance that he had that look in his eye, which was please don't make this a huge thing. Please, I'm begging you, ma'am. Right? He had that look in his eyes. He wasn't afraid to catch my eye, right? To look me in the eye. But he had that look like I know she is about to jump out her car and this is just going to be a big thing. That stigmatism. I felt like the stigmatism or that stereotype of the angry Black woman was looking back. I thought he was looking at me from that angle. And I thought to myself, "Eh, I really want to check him." And he said, "I'm so sorry, ma'am, but it just bumped your fender." And I was able to squeeze out. It just bumped your fender very lightly, and I held the door the whole time I was getting out. And I knew he was telling the truth. And I looked at him. I said, "Well, what I'm going to do, I want for you to back out, and I'll let you back out first because I cannot get out with you that close." And he said, "Okay, okay, thank you." And he jumped in his vehicle. He held the door. He held his door as he got in. Um, and he backed out. It took him a second to figure out how to back out without scraping his front end across my vehicle. He backed out, he pulled off, and I pulled out and I pulled off. I am telling you, whew, it was everything. Everything. It took everything not to give him what, when, and what for, right? It was hard. But I just knew that I could make our both our days, or I could make both our days horrible. I can make them great, or I can make them horrible by how I responded to him in that moment. And I was like, it's a Jeep. It's a Jeep. Jeeps are built for rugged wear, right? And I just said, let it go. I have to pick my battles carefully. And in this situation, I decided to bring a more positive energy. And you can do the same thing. You can absolutely do the same thing. We do not always have to respond with our first thought. And so, in the spirit of this just for today meditation, I want for you to make the atmosphere of the recovery room what it should be to the newcomer coming through the door. One that is welcoming, kind, and enjoyable. They probably don't know all the ropes like you do. They may not even know where the coffee is if there's a coffee machine. There's one meeting that they have like a kitchen with half of a wall blocking the area of where the kitchen is. So when you're a newcomer, if you walk into their meeting and you decide to sit closest to the door, you are not going to know what's going on behind that wall, that there's a whole kitchenette basically. And so maybe let the newcomer know, if you want some coffee, this is where you go. Hey, yeah, you look new here. I'm so and so. Yeah, you've been coming to meetings, or are you new to our meeting, or you just new to are you new to recovery? And they'll tell you. And then, well, I want to make sure you know where the bathrooms are. The bathrooms at this meeting are down a whole different hall, right? So make an effort to make your meeting, or any meeting you walk into, make it the best atmosphere for a newcomer to come and decide that they want to stay because it's an attraction. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed your company this morning. I hope that you have a beautiful day.